Hey guys, this is ebilly99. Again, talking Christ and truth. He left a few comments. Most notably, I am full of crud. And that absence... Can I please talk, buddy? That absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, or something like that. Which, in other words, means believing... Which, in other words, means believing God even though I have no evidence. Why is this faulty logic? There is no atheist alive who would probably say, beyond a reasonable doubt, that God cannot possibly exist in all dimensions. And that said, we can state that it is illogical for God to exist, and logically it is impossible for God to exist. Of course, the theist just has to pull the whole, you don't need logic to believe God is beyond logic kind of stuff. Okay, Alex. But the problem with that is, if it's beyond logic, then... If it's beyond logic... Okay, can I please talk? If it is beyond logic to understand, if God is beyond logic, and He doesn't use logic to explain Himself, then there's no good reason to believe in Him. That's right, Christians, you are not winnings.
Me.
Yeah, you are not the greatest.
Me.
It is a logical fallacy to say that because I don't have evidence, I need to say God does not exist. Now, I could point to God being a logical impossibility and stuff, again, and you just have to pull the whole logic out of your... Good one! Yeah, logic out of your burp. And you got the whole problem solved. But if you're going... And the next part, historical evidence of the Bible. Yeah, the Bible has historical documents because it was written in the past. It was written when these events happened. And any idiot's going to write down what's happening in front of him if he wants to make a religion out of it. So, the historical and archaeological evidence doesn't prove God. It may prove that the people who wrote the Bible lived in the time period they said they did. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it proves that people got writings from the people who lived in that time. Or maybe they guessed right. But that's just beyond the point. Even if they lived in that time period, when the supernatural was all around them, because science had not yet evolved to a point where we could understand it, does not...
Goodbye.
Yeah, you've lost the argument.
Goodbye.
So, as my son's saying, we've pwned you.
Goodbye.